Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio, where we're here to nourish our souls. I'm Norah, the host of this program. Thoughts by Joanna de Angelis and Divaldo Franco. This is the book. We are in the third part, and these messages that we are reviewing in different spectrums, different perspectives, are all about trusting in God. Beautiful messages, super important, because in this human experience, we have so many challenges, but the important thing is not to give up, right? Using these spiritual tools and resources that the mentors, right? That the God, Jesus, Mother Mary, and just those of light bring to us are so important and so good, because we all go through something, right? So hope everybody had an amazing weekend, ready to begin the week. And today's message, it's really a good reminder about the influence that we have, right? So important with everything happening around the world. There's so many things that we can control, and there are others that we cannot. And through today's message, we come to learn that really it's us, our choices, right? But what's more beautiful, if we don't believe in ourselves, if we don't think that we have any influence over anything or anyone, we learn tonight that that's not the case. Each and every single one of us has that potential to influence, right? And influence is a gift, whether it's through knowledge, resources, leadership, it carries weight. And Spiritism reminds us that the greatest influence, right? That the greater the influence, the greater the accountability before God. So Joanna and Divaldo's message say, powerful men and women on the earth have a grave responsibility before the cosmic consciousness. So this message is beautiful, but let's bring it down to like just every day, right? We can take this to a much deeper level with consciousness, but why not think about us in our everyday human experience, right? So in this case, this is not what Joanna Divaldo are talking, just earthly authority. Powerful can mean anyone with influence, right? Every day, parents, community leaders, teachers, leaders at our jobs, or anyone whose actions ripple into the lives of others. Now that's powerful. And powerful is not given to be worshipped. It is entrusted to be used wisely for service. When guided by selfishness, power creates imbalance. But when guided, right, when power guided by trust in God, it becomes a channel for justice, compassion, and harmony. So in the Gospels, according to Spiritism, chapter 17, there's a beautiful section there. Moral persons. In some newer editions, it'll say good persons, right? And there's a list of maybe between 15, 17 things or virtues or attributes that the spirits say, this is what defines a person. And let's just go through some of them, because they're so important for us, right? Because these will help to understand the influence that we have, as Joanna Divaldo said, right? So one of the things is living by justice, love, and charity. That's the top one. That's a sign of a good moral person. Trust in God's wisdom and will, values the spiritual above the material, does good for its own sake without seeking reward, defends the weak, and repays evil with good, thinks of others first, and spreads comfort, joy, and consolation. This person is benevolent to all, respecting differences, forgives offenses, and lets go of hatred and vengeance, works daily to overcome personal imperfections, uses power, riches, or talents as a sacred trust in service to others. Beautifully, spirits also say that this person studies his or her own imperfections and strives to improve daily. They humble about their talents and their riches, and instead highlight others' good qualities. Uses but not abuse possessions, and when in authority, they treat others kindly. And if a person is in subordinate position, This person fulfills duties conscientiously, always respects the right of others. We see here, friends, and then the section ends with this beautiful, powerful, this is word by word. It says, these are not all the qualities which distinguish a good person, the spirits say. But anyone who tries hard to possess those which have been mentioned will find themselves on the road which leads to all the rest. But what more do we need? So here we have Joanna de Divaldo saying us, hey, everyone has a responsibility on this earth, right? We're all held accountable. But in the Gospels, we have a list. We don't even have to go out there and explore and wonder. We don't. We have already the guidelines. So now, if anything, what we do is we go into our lives and we start to analyze, okay, this particular situation came in, what kind of person, what side of me is going to come out, right? In other words, and that's what they're saying, like, we're going to be held accountable. And the more we know, right, the more we're held accountable, friends. And we start to see, right, that in Spiritism, we see that leadership is never accidental. And again, leadership is not top CEO. We're talking about in our own lives, leaders in our families, in our jobs, communities, in so many spaces. Like most of us don't even realize it sometimes, right? And that awareness is so important because once it comes in and we start to see that, then we're like, oh, God has a plan, right? Because God permits someone to have that influence. It's always for a mission, to serve as instruments of progress. And these are the attributes that we strive to role model in our communities, right? The Bible too in Luke 12:48 reminds us, to whom much is given, much will be required. This echoes the same principle. Every gift, whether knowledge, wealth, or authority, it's not an end in itself. It's a stewardship, right? One day, each of us will account for how we used our influence, big or small. That's so important. It is beautiful in some way, right, friends? Why? Well, because some of us might say, I'm not powerful. I don't hold a position. But friends, let's remember that influence is not measured only in titles or wealth. It lives in the way, if anything, it lives in the way we touch each other's lives, right? A parent influences a child's heart. A teacher shapes a student's path. A kind word to a stranger may change their whole day. We all hold the power in the circles that we move in. And before God, that power is very sacred. Therefore, friends, to end this, we need to trust in God, right? Which means remembering that no act of love is too small and no misuse of influence goes unnoticed, right? Today, being an influencer, it's so many people love doing that. And there's a purpose for that. So as we said, our message to the world, what is it, right, friends? So that is the message. There is a beautiful visualization at the end just to connect us to this. And friends, what a powerful way to begin the week. Honestly, what influence? That's the homework, right? What is the influence? Or if something comes in and the awareness is there, what choices am I going to make? What kind of person is going to come out when that challenge comes and visits us this week, friends, right? We got this, friends. Let's not give up. Let's keep on going. Let's trust in God. And let us remember that we are loved. Until next week, same place, same time. And let us enjoy the visualization. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.